Huh? Let's see, was he more absent or more present? More days absent or more days present? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I want you to read this hadith again for me, this one here. One Abdullah. Is it the last hadith we done yesterday? Yeah. Inna Allah la yakhfa alaykum. That one is the last one we done yesterday. Yeah, I want you to read it. I want to do that one again, inshallah, today. There's something I left out yesterday. I want to do it again. There's a nice exam question for you. You know, we had one Ustad, Moulana Harun Abbas Umar Marhum Saab, when he used to teach Bukhari Shareef, and it used to come like a little question, it got some, like a little explanation. Then you say this in Urdu, ये अच्छा है इम्तिहान के लिए. There's a nice exam question. We should think, we should just, you know, take notes of him. He asked the same question. And then we don't know the question, but I told you there's an exam question. You didn't listen. So I tell you the exam question. Better take note, right? इसे मैंने आपसे कहा था ये तो इम्तिहान के सवाल है. I told you this is an exam question. Why you never take me serious when I told you? Read it again. إن الله لا يخفى عليه إن الله تعالى أعور وإن المسيح الدجال أعور عنه كأن عينه عنبة باقية متفق عليه. Okay, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We done this one, but I'm doing it again. Something else I want to do. Show you here. وأنا عبد الله probably عبد الله بن عمر قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لا يخفى عليكم. Allah Ta'ala is not hidden upon you. Like there's no confusion who your Allah is. You know who your Allah is. هو الواحد الأحد الصمد, right? You don't become confused. But I want to tell you something. He's not a human being. And on top of that, he's not a one-eyed human being. Inna Allah laysa bi'awar. So he does not a person who have one eye, right? Wa inna al-masih ad-dajjala. Within masih ad-dajjal, awar, he has one eye, right? Awar ayn al-yumna. So that's ayn al-yumna is mudaf ilay, which is idaf al-takhsis. Remember, sometimes the mudaf ilay comes to the meaning of a specific, right? He's one-eyed of the right eye. That's how it translates. كأن عينه إنب طافية, as though his eye is, so to say, a protruding, like a protruding طافية, like a protruding grape, right? متفق عليه. So I was telling you that if you look at this hadith here, right, you'll see some hadith speak about his right eye being defective, and some hadith speaks about his left eye being defective. It seems like a contradiction. Now, normally when we speak about hour, we mean, normally you just think hour means one eye. So you say, he's one right eye, that means he has a right eye, or he's one left eye, he has a left eye. But here, the Sharia gives a very nice explanation to understand. He said, look here, hour doesn't necessarily mean one-eyed. When you tell, when that person, even if his one eye is defective, it's not totally out of use, you say it's hour. So if you got one good eye, one normal eye, but your other eye maybe it's working still, but it is defective still, you will say it's hour. So hour refer to a defective eye. So now a simple way of making intibaq between the outwardly contradictory hadith. Certain say no, he's got one right eye, certain say no, he's got one left eye. You understand what I'm saying? So an easy way to make intibaq between that is this here. We say that both eyes were not good. Both had a problem. Although with one eye he could see. So he had one eye he could see, and the others, in other words, it's a defective eye. He couldn't see well with it. And the other eye was totally, or the other side of his face, where the eye is supposed to be, was totally out of use. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at this here, it's saying that the right eye is defective. Our ayn al-yumna. So I was telling you what it means is both. Now there are certain hadith that says, right? It says mamsuhatul aini, right? Laysat binatia. Natia means something which protrudes. So his eye was flat, nothing protruding from there. Wala hajra'a, right? So from other hadith we learn that the right eye, it was there, but it looked a bit funny also. And mamsuhatul ayn refers to the left eye. There was nothing there. To such an extent, mentioned here also, it was not even a eye socket. It was just a piece of flesh that was there on the left eye. Now, if you understand this here, if you take this explanation, just remember this explanation. The right eye was also defective, and the left eye, there was nothing there at all. And why I'll tell you, yeah, we're going to do, see, when we're going to do the hadith number, we're going to do hadith number 11, we're going to do yes, number 11, number 22, that we're going to do. They also, because here, the hadith we got in front of us here, which is hadith number 7, it speaks about the right eye being, what you say, kana. Urdu, you say kana. And then number 11, and speak about the left eye. But if you just say that the left eye, there was nothing there. It was, we can say like it was fleshy, thick flesh hanging there. Then inshallah, you'll see, you will be no contradiction. It will be easy to understand everything, right? Okay, read the hadith.
قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم
Right. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أنس narrating authority of Anas رضي الله تعالى said قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم said ما من نبي إلا قد أنذر أمته الأعور. No Nabi came from the advent of mankind on this dunya, right? Till the end time, no Nabi came إلا أنذر أمته, except he warned, he cautioned his people about the hour, the one-eyed person, right? Al-Kazzaba, the great liar, the great deceiver. Ala innahu a'war. Know that this person I'm speaking about is one-eyed. He's got one defective eye. Wa inna rabbakum laysa bi'awar. Your Rabb is not a human being with one defective eye. Your Allah Ta'ala is laysa kamithlihi shay. Right? Right? Maktubun bayna aydayhi kafar. It is written between his two eyes. The eye that is working, and on the left side, which is no eye, it's written there, kafara. This will come to your mind maybe. Look here, if this person, let's say this is literal. It's two ways first, two things I want to say here. Let's say it's literal. Literal, it's written there, kafara. Just say it's written there. One is you can say, it's not literal. You know, many of those hadiths, maybe you can try to explain it away in a figurative way. That maybe it's not written there, kafara, but what it means, the signs of kufr are evident on him. In other words, like how you say in Arabic, azhar min ash-shams. When something is very, very evident, something is very, very clear. Say, azhar min ash-shams. This is more clear than the more evident than the sun, right? So it could mean that it's not written the kafara, but that he's calling to kufr, that is a kafir, is not hidden, right? So that's one explanation. The other explanation, if we take it to mean literally, it's written the kafara. Now you ask yourself the question, how is it possible that the person can have clearly written the kafara? He's got kafara written on there, and people will still be deceived by him. Muslims, remember, he says that Muslims, they were, he will come in some riwayat, inshallah, will come in Mishkaat Shareef. He's not coming in Mishkaat Shareef. Maybe other hadith we learn that he will produce the most melodious music. He will produce the most melodious music. And people who are accustomed to listening to music, they love music, etc. When he plays his tunes, they won't be able to help themselves. They lose control of themselves, and they will be impressed with his music. So the point I'm trying to say is that It's many times we know something is not right. We know this is haram. We know this is not good for us, but yet we still engage in it. Yet we still engage in it, right? In today's world, even you get Satanist people that worship Satan. Although in the Quran, when you speak about people worshiping Shaitan, etc., most of the time it doesn't refer to people who actually worship Shaitan, but it refers to people that worship idols, etc., etc. So in today's day and age, you get people that actually worship Shaitan. They know they are worshiping the devil. So these people know they are worshiping the devil. They know they are going to go to hell. If people are able to do that, then what makes it so difficult to believe that somebody will actually worship somebody that has kafara clearly written on his head or on his forehead? Like, something is not good for you, but you still do it. You understand what I'm saying? So, or it could be the other situation I told you is this year that, they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They're so accustomed to music, musical instruments, singing, like how we see happening now in the Muslim world, etc., that they lose control of themselves. So that's just when you say your akal is overpowered by your shahwa, right? So it could mean that as well. Anyway, read the next hadith. Anyway, the other point I want to say, إِلَّا قَدْ أَنذَرَ أُمَّتَهُ. In other words, as other hadith suggests, this is such a major event that will happen in this ummah that maybe, although it will happen in our ummah, but maybe the previous ummah, Allah Ta'ala did not inform that the Dajjal will not be in your ummah, will come in the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Obviously, if he told his all the different ummahs that it won't be in your ummah, they wouldn't have warned their people. The fact that they won't see Ma min Nabi illa qad anzara ummatahu al-a'war, that Nabi Allah informed them that a Dajjal will come, but he never say it will come. Only in the latter part of the ummah. So he just said one will come. But yes, when Nabi Sallallahu came, then he specified, no, it will be in your ummah. So from this you learn that from Adam alayhi salam till Qiyamah, it is one of the major events, even that transcends even our ummah, right? Even it's such a major event that even with regards to the other ummah, it's a major event, right? There's a nice hadith. Okay, very interesting hadith. Also, a few things. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن أبي هريرة قال رسول الله ألا أحدثكم حديثا عن الدجال. Right now, authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Once he said that Rasulullah said, ألا أحدثكم حديثا عن الدجال. Can I not inform you about something about Dajjal, right? Right? ما حدث نبي قومه. Right? So can I not inform you something which about Dajjal? Right? That which the Nabi told the people, right? إِنَّهُ أَعْوَرٌ is a person who has one eye or a defective eye. وَإِنَّهُ يَجِيءُ مَعَهُ بِمِثْلِ الْجَنَّةِ وَالنَّارِ. That verily he will bring with him something which is like Jannat and something which is like a fire. So you will bring with him, right? فَالَّتِي يَقُولُ إِنَّهَا الْجَنَّةُ. That which he will say it is a Jannat, هي النار, is actually the fire. وَإِنِّي أُنذِرُكُمْ كما أنذر به نوح قومه. Really, I am warning you, like how Noah alayhi salam had warned his people. What a coincidence! While we speak about Noah alayhi salam here, we also done it in our tafsir. So, several things here. First is that I want to tell you something. وحدث عن الدجال ما حدث به نبي قومه. I want to tell you what all the prophets told their people. They warned about in English you call him the Antichrist, right? Then Nabi Sallallahu said, look here, he's a human being. So just showing you that, like how the Christians believe that Allah Ta'ala came down into Isa alayhi salam, or Isa came to the dunya, etc. Or like how the Alawi Shias live in Syria. They say, Bashar al-Assad and his father, Hafiz al-Assad, they were Alawi Shias, although there's a lot of theories to say now he's repented from that. Allah Ta'ala knows best. So Allah Ta'ala will not come in to this dunya in the form of a human being, not like Isa alayhi salam, not like Jesus, what the Christians claim, or not in the form of Ali alayhi salam, like how the Alawites claim. That's all nonsensical nonsense, right? So that anybody claim that he's a divine God in the form of a human being in the world is bankam, is nonsense, right? Allah Ta'ala won't take the form of a human being, etc. Right? So he won't come. So if any human, you say, I'm God, I'm Allah in the form of human being, nonsense, just dispel it, right? Inna our وَإِنَّهُ يَجِيءُ مَعَهُ بِمِثْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. He will come with something that is like Jannat with him, one nari, and something that is like a fire. So, but it's actually the opposite. So yeah, this could mean one of two things. I told you that he'll say, look here, if you obey me, you listen to me, you do what I'm saying, then you will go to heaven. Now, because he's obviously the Antichrist, if you listen to him, you're going to go to hell. And he said, if you disobey me, right, you're going to go to hell. So if you, right, but you disobey him, you're not going to go to hell. You're actually going to go to Jannah. So that would be, you can say, like in a figurative sense. In a figurative sense, that if you obey him, you go to hell. If you disobey him, you go to Jannah. But some riwayat actually also maybe it'll come in Mishkaat Shareef. He will conjure up a image of Jannat, and that Jannat actually will be Jahannam. And some riwayat say he will conjure up an image of Jahannam, and that will be Jannat. You know, when I read this, I can't help but think about, you know, the new lights, these laser lights there. They can create something out of nothing. They can create something out of nothing. You know, they can take a barren land, there's nothing there. And these lights are so advanced with these laser lights, they can create a whole image. They can create a whole image as though maybe there's rivers there, there's trees there, etc. But there's nothing there. But there is nothing there. So, you know, even nowadays, like, you know, I was reading one article, I told you about this before, that with these lights, they can create in a studio the image as though you're sitting in the soccer stadium. The players in front of you look like it's real. The players you think that you are actually at the stadium, you are watching the match. You think you are in the stadium and you are watching the match. So this is what they will do. So I'm just my own thoughts. I'm saying maybe Dajjal will have, this is the Dajjalic technology. We can show you something that it appears to be there. If here you are in a garden of bliss, etc., but there's nothing there. But it's actually barren land. So it's all a delusion. It's all a deception. It's all Dajjal. But anyway, the main thing is, if you obey him, then you are destined for the fire of Jannah. If you disobey him and you obey Allah and His Rasul, then you will go to Jannat. And then also you need to make sure that you are not impressed with his tools. His tools are singing girls, etc. Read the next riwayat.
كذلك يوسف الذي اشتراه فإنه إن عينيه يقرأ كل
Right, very interesting hadith. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعن حذيفة عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الدجال يخرج, Dajjal will come, وإن معه ماء ونارا, he will have water. So water normally is representative of something lovely, beautiful, fresh. When you are stressed out, nothing more soothing than hearing the water flow, sitting on the beach, seeing the waves crash. وإن معه ماء ونارا فأما الذي يراه الناس معا, that which the people will see to be the water, something cool, it's actually the fire. So I told you, I'll mention this again, that which you think he's calling you towards, which is obey me, you will go to heaven, is actually, he's calling you to kufr. He's calling you to the, or otherwise, according to some riwayat, you will actually conjure up a finish, you will conjure up an image of Jannat and say, here's the Jannat, go to the Jannat, but in fact, that means Jannam. And he will conjure up an image of Jannam and say, here's the Jannah, if you go to that, you don't disobey me, you're going to go to this here. But when you go to that, it's actually be Jannah, right? So, so they say, فَأَمَّا الَّذِي يَرَاهُ النَّاسُ مَاءً فَنَارٌ تُحْرِقُ, it will burn. وَأَمَّا الَّذِي يَرَاهُ النَّاسُ نَارًا, that which the people see to be fire, فَمَاءٌ بَارِدٌ, it will be cool, fresh water, right? So, فَمَنْ أَدْرَكَ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ فَلْيَقَعْ فِي الَّذِي يَرَاهُ نَارًا. Whoever from you experiences, then he should plunge into that which he sees it to be a fire. In other words, like I told you, either could mean that image which is a fire, go into that because there's your success. Or other it could mean like go to his disobedience. Go to his disobedience will be, well, obviously he's the antichrist, so he's calling you to go against Allah and His Rasul. So if you disobey him in the process, you will be obeying Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right, so فليقع في الذي يراه نارا فإنه ماء عذب طيب, because he's Jahannam, like, or his disobedience, it will be wholesome fresh water. Muttafaqun alayh. This year, riwayat muttafaq alayh, it appears in both in Bukhari and Muslim Sharif, right? But Muslim Sharif alone was Zada Muslimun. He got this. وَإِنَّ الدَّجَّالَ مَمْسُوخُ الْأَيْنِ. That I told you, remember I told you the explanation, consider the left eye to be nothing there, to be flat, like a fleshy, and the right eye to be defective. If you take the explanation, you see inshallah all of this explanation, the eyes will fall into place. But if really the jala mamsuhul aini, that his eye is mamsuh, it is like flat, right? Right? Alayha zafaratun ghaliratun. Zafaratun is like a thick nail-like skin is on it, right? Maktubun bayna aynayhi. It will be written between his eyes, kafirun, kafir. Then I told you, you remember I told you this could mean two things. One is that it's be physically written, and I gave you explanation that if something is physically written, how can still people, how can a Muslim still? So that's, say, was it hadith, or that verse is saying that the eyes are not blind, but the hearts are blind. What is it? That verse is saying it's not the eyes that are blind, but the heart is blind. ولكن verse is saying it's not the eyes that are blind, but the hearts that are blind. ولكن okay, but anyway, there's a verse. They don't have the basira, they don't have the insight to see. To see, they says, right? مكتوب بين أيديه كافر يقرأه كل مؤمن. Every Muslim will be able to read it. So if we say it's physical, miraculously, a Muslim, even though he's unper means, Urdu means a person can't see kafara. Otherwise, what we say is this: if we say it's not physical, Allah Ta'ala have given the basirat. No, man, this man is a cheat. He's a fraud. He's an antichrist. He's not he's not a wali of Allah Ta'ala. He's not a mujaddid. He's not a reformer. He's a what you call it, like how he's saying, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, when he claimed to be initially a reformer, then he claimed to be a prophet, and then eventually he claimed divinity. But people who got Nur Iman, you can see now this guy, he's a charlatan, he's a fraud, right? So same thing here. We're saying that a person that got true Iman in his heart, etc., he will recognize that no, this is a fraud. So same thing when I was telling you that obviously we take the Dajjal to be a physical entity, but and obviously the people of Iman, through the barakat of Iman, through the nur of Iman, etc., they will be able to recognize. But it's on the same token, when the Dajjali system comes into place, they want to change the world, the music and debauchery, and introduce this system and introduce that system, all of the Dajjali system. The ulama of the ulama, they got like how the true mu'min will recognize this is the Dajjal, and you see the kafara, the true Muslim will see this is now the Dajjali system. Is a system of the new world order where they want to control people, they want to control every move of them, they want to plant chips into them, etc., etc. A believer will be able to recognize that, and he will see this is now batil, this is not haq. So I was telling you this here about the left eye. It says it will be like a thick, fleshy, like how you see, like like a thick, almost as hard as a nail that will be on his left side, and this will be on his left right. It will be like a flat layer. Okay, let's read the next hadith, inshallah.
الرحمن الرحيم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الجلال عين
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وعنه أصلا أخرج أبو هريرة يسير قال رسول الله الدجال أمر العين اليسرى. Dajjal, he will be blind in the left eye. So I told you. See, remember, right eye refers to defect in the right eye. Left eye means mamsuhun according to some riwayat, right? Jufalu sha'ri means kathiru sha'ri, right? He will be a very hairy person, right? Ma'ahu jannatuhu wa naruhu. Once him will be his jannat and his nar, right? I gave you the explanation in detail. It could refer to, as I said, that he will conjure up these images of jannat or jannam. Or, as I said, you obey him, you go to the fire. You disobey him, you go to jannat, right? Right? Then Nabi Sallallahu said, right, fanaruhu jannatun. His fire is actually jannat. In his disobedience, going against his system. So if we take this, I told you, if we take this explanation, I told you that that the child is a system. Well, the best explanation is to say that this makes most sense. That the child is a physical entity that will emerge one day, but he will be preceded by the jali systems. Because all of a sudden, if a person just appear, people, sometimes when you look at the predictions of the hadith, etc., you can't believe how this will happen. How can something happen like this? But it happens slowly, it happens gradually. When something happens slowly, when something happens gradually, then it doesn't come like a shock to the system. The same thing, this whole the Jali system, the emergence of the Jal, it will be preceded by many events that will prepare people, make people more accepting of this. You understand what I'm saying? So same thing here. We can say the Jal is a physical entity that will emerge, right? And we've got certain guidelines from the Hadith, but there will be a lot of events, there are a lot of things that will precede his arrival that will prepare for it. So people will be, so as I told you, people will be taken to music, musical instruments, and all that type of thing. So when he comes, they will be like putty in his hands, right? Okay, the next hadith is quite a lengthy hadith. Let's see how much we can cover of the next hadith, inshallah. Read from there. Right, وعن النواس بن سمعان. Now, Sam'an is غير منصرف. Why? Because Alif Nun Zaida Tariq Uthman, right? Okay, so see, Zakara Rasul ad-Dajjal. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made mention of Dajjal, right? He mentioned to Sahaba Kiram, look, there's the Dajjal going to come, right? Right. Interesting. He says, فَقَالَ فَإِن يَخْرُجْ. If he emerges, وَأَنَا فِيكُمْ, and I am amongst you, فَأَنَا حَجِيجُهُ دُونَكُمْ. I will be your حَجِيجُهُ. I can say, I will be your, what's the right word? I will be your, I will take care of him. What you said? Yeah, Hajij, yeah, I'll be like your representative. I will be your disputant on, I'll take care of him, right? I can't find a nice word for it. I will be your lawyer, so to say. I'll take care of him, right? So, interesting thing here about this hadith is Nabi Sallallahu saying, if he comes out with the arm around, so what does this show you? This shows you that Allah Ta'ala also never gave complete knowledge to Nabi Sallallahu about this. He gave him knowledge, but not absolute knowledge. Because Nabi Sallallahu was not sure himself that will I be around, or will I not be around? Although certain things that he knew that look like Qiyamah won't come until the Dajjal come. He knew that, like, when the Mahdi, etc., those things like that. But he never gave him absolute knowledge that exactly like this. That's why he's saying, look, if I'm around, I will take care for him. Allah Ta'ala will never punish him whilst you are amongst them. So if I'm around, I will take care of him, right? Or it could mean, that's one expression, or it could mean that Allah Ta'ala never give all, like, how you study hadith, certain times as you mention something, then on another occasion he mentioned something else, outwardly seem contradictory. But the explanation is yes, Allah Ta'ala never gave all the information at one time. Allah Ta'ala gave the information in bits and pieces. So at this point in time, maybe some didn't know already that, look, this will happen, long after a year has passed away, whatever. But the bottom line is, you can see that Allah Ta'ala never give him all the information. That's why he said, right, that if I'm around, I will take care of him, right? Carry on. Right. So he's saying, وَإِن يَخْرُجْ, but say since he comes out, وَلَسْتُ فِيكُمْ, I am not amongst you. لَسْتُ فِيكُمْ, I'm not around anymore, right? So, فَمْرٌ حَجِيجُ نَفْسِهِ, like how we say in English, each man for himself, right? Each man, you have to, I won't be there, but you'll have to look after yourself. You must make sure I will give you guidelines. I will explain to you like who he is, what are his traps, what are his snares, etc. So you have to look after yourself, each man for himself. فَمْرُؤٌ حَجِيجُ نَفْسِهِ, right? So a man will be, so there's like a mubtada khabar, حَجِيجُ نَفْسِهِ, he will have to be his own fighter, he has to fight on his own behalf, right? He will be on his lawyer, right? Right? Wallahu khalifati ala kulli muslimin. What does means Wallahu khalifati ala kulli muslimin? My deputy. So what it means, like how when you go on a journey, say, in Urdu they say when you go, Khuda Hafiz, I'm leaving you now. May Allah Ta'ala be your protection. Or there's also a dua. Astawdi Allah dinakum wa khawatim a'malikum, that I entrust you into the care of Allah Ta'ala, and I trust your good end into the care of Allah Ta'ala. So that if I passed away, I'm not there. If I'm there, I'm going to fight with your behalf. I'm going to do what, obviously, with the help of Allah Ta'ala. But if I'm not there, then you are in the hands of Allah Ta'ala. I make Allah Ta'ala my Khalifa. He must look after you. Like you say, right? So you say, Urdu, Khuda Hafiz, may Allah Ta'ala be your protector. Astawdi Allah, I put you into the care of Allah Ta'ala, right? Right. Innahu shabun qatatun. Really, he is a young person. Qatatun was curly hair. Qatatun, curly hair, right? I tell you, his one eye is tafiyatun. Tafiya means it is like a protruding little bit, right? So this one eye is a bit abnormal. It is more protruding than other. Just 1 second here. Yeah, it's a bit swollen up, so to say, right? Yeah, so as though I am likening him with Abdul Uzza ibn Qatan. In other words, there was a person in the time of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So he said that maybe facial features he resembles this person, right? Right. So for man adraka, who gets him, who lives in his time from amongst you, فَلْيَقْرَأْ عَلَيْهِ فَوَاتِحَ سُورَةِ الْكَهْفِ, he should recite upon him the opening verses of Surah Kahf. Now, besides this verse here, this hadith, there are many other hadith that speak about the virtue of reciting Surah Kahf, and in particular on a Friday. There are some hadith that speak about reciting the whole of Surah Kahf. Some riwayat says that when you recite Surah Kahf on a Friday, then from you a pillars of nur will go up to the heavens till the next Friday. Some verses speak about reciting the last 10 verses. Whatever it is, if you can recite the whole of Surah Kahf on a Friday, brilliant. But if you can't recite the whole thing, at least the first 10 or the last 10 verses. So this hadith and many other hadith, they show you that if you want to be saved from the fitna of Dajjal. Now remember, Dajjal is a deceit. It's a big deception. Then you must recite Surah Kahf. So ulama mentioned, even in today's day and age, when you are confused, you are not sure, everything appears to be a deception to you. You can't see, there's so much fog. You can't see the truth. You can't separate. the chalk from the chest, then recite Surah Kahf abundantly. When the Western world, when the imperialists, they are coming um, with their conspiracies, they're coming with their grand plans to enslave mankind, to take the civil liberties away from mankind, to have them vaccinated and to have them chipped and to have them, like how they say this whole thing of COVID, it was an exercise to see to what extent they could control man, to what extent will man be obedient to their laws. So if you want to clear the fog and you want to see the reality, yeah, we see Surah Kahf is most effective in that, right? Carry on. But in another riwayat it comes, then read upon him, the opening of Surah Kahf. Right, because verily it will be a savior. It will save you from this fitna. Right, he will emerge on a road between Syria, Sham, and Iraq. So, he will create mischief on the right and he will create mischief on the left. So, if you look at today, if you look at the Western world, this is why some ulama, they even say that, that the Western world, the European people, they are the Ya'juj and Ma'juj. They are the people that escaped from in the mountain, because wherever they go, they cause mischief. So this is the Dajjal, he will cause mischief. Wherever you go, Yameen was right, Yameen and Wa'athin Shimalan, the right, the left, right. O servants of Allah Ta'ala, you have to remain firm. It's going to be a very difficult time. Like we done it hadith, Man tasharrafa istashrafahu. The whole world is being embroiled in this fitna. If you look at today's day and age, if you look at Saudi Arabia, okay, that's not the proper meaning. Saudi Arabia was only born now recently. But if you look at Hijaz, this was the birthplace of Islam. This was the home of conservative Orthodox Islam for hundreds of years. But what is happening there now? Now, I don't have to tell you, musical concerts and nudity. They got women making tawaf around a fake Kaaba, all that type of thing, astaghfirullah. So no matter what happens, no matter what must you do? Don't say, oh, they're doing this in Saudi. In Saudi, they are. I saw one video, even they saying the one sheikh is saying that for a Muslim, music is permissible. It was very relaxing. It relaxes your mind and all that type of thing. So all the fitna will come, all the stupid part will come. But what must you do? Ya ibadallah, you must remain firm. You must remain firm, right? Anyway, let's stop there. It's a lengthy hadith. Remember to finish it. Let's stop there. We'll continue tomorrow, inshallah.